Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Costly Conversations Podcast, the 100th episode. Thank you so much for sending this out and making sure that we have plenty of leisure carries to give away to people who, obviously have put in a little bit of work to try to get one. There's a couple people who DM me personally. It's like, hey, man, how can I get one of those? And I was like, you got to enter the giveaway. But I wanted to give you a second to just kind of share about the heart and the intention, the thought process that went into the leisure carry. I'm just going to open the box real quick and give myself the screen if y'all don't mind. And this is the leisure carry. Got it in good lighting. So, and Ron, if you could just do me a favor, I'm going to give you the screen. Can you share why you thought this was important to create and that you invested so much time and energy into this product?
Yeah, sure. So I'm from up north, but I moved down to Georgia a few years ago, and I'm still not even used to the heat. It's just ridiculous. And I have been or at the time I was trying to figure out all these different ways to get away with carrying without having to wear a full belt all the way around myself. Just because, one, it's obviously less comfortable, and two, it's way hotter than not wearing a belt. So I had a nice holster with some like DCC clips that I was just clipping inside my drawstring gym shorts. And I remember one day I was taking my dog out to my in-laws' house, and I had just finished building a Glock 19 with a ton of like custom parts, and I was all pumped about it because it had like the Trigicon on it. And I was getting her out of the car, and she did something weird with her foot, and she caught like the front of my waistband, and it pulled my gun completely out, and it totally inverted the holster from being inside my waistband and flung it out onto the concrete. And nothing was broken, but I was like, and it was a private place, so it wasn't like it was in a parking lot somewhere. But I was like, even with like the best clips that you can use on this thing, like there's nothing keeping this in there. The teeth of the clips didn't have anything to bite onto. So that was when I started playing with like different ideas for figuring out how to like accomplish actually safely carrying inside gym shorts.
Yeah.
And over a bunch of trial, I ended up deciding that it needed to be something that a normal holster could clip onto, and then it needed to have something that would have like excess friction holding onto the waistband. So that's how the Ulti clips came into the situation.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the origin of it. I just wanted it for myself, and then my friends wanted it, and then their friends wanted it, and then I made a website for it. And then
nice. That's interesting. You just made it for yourself, and then people were like, "Hey, this is really good. Can I get one?" Were they all like this, or was this kind of a refined design, or what the heck?
So it ended up being that, obviously, but I started out with just a piece of leather, like off of a belt that I had chopped up, and like that worked fine, but like it's just nowhere near as stiff as the stuff that I'm using now.
What
I
is that
actually,
material now?
it's called biothane, and I found that material because my wife came home one day with a collar for our dog, and I was stuck because I didn't like the leather, and I didn't like the type of webbing that they use on like normal gun belts for it, because it just didn't look good for the application. So like I figured nobody'd ever buy this if it looks like this. Mm-hmm. So she came home one day with that belt, or with the collar for the dog, and I was like, what the heck is this stuff? This is awesome. And then I found out they made a bunch of different kinds, and then I actually reached out about doing some customizing of my own for it, and that's how we ended up with the biothane. But it was funny because I was kind of stuck because I definitely couldn't make it out of leather, and I didn't want to make it out of the other material. And then the right material just kind of fell into my lap.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is, um, when I first saw this, and I guess it's not that crazy, I thought it was leather. I was like, oh, look at that. It's kind of like some of the other stuff that we see on the market because right as you hit the market, there was a few other brands going into the market with, different options and different styles and different things like that. And I was like, but it's leather. And that's just so much. Some of the other materials are just a lot stiffer and a lot more painful or uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, that works. And even though it's not actually a leather, it's still very, very comfortable and very, very usable. And it gives me the option to clip anything, any like holster that I have that clips. Whether it could be a knife holster, it could be regular gun holster. If it clips, it'll go, and that's awesome. So, dude, thank you so much for putting your heart and soul into that product. We talked about it one time. You like had one of the rooms in your house just full of the product, trying to get it shipped and stuff. And I don't know if I'm sharing your business, but people need to know, like, you're a real human being
No.
working on
Yeah.
this product, and like there's something cool. There's something to be said about a guy who is putting everything he has into this kind of thing to make sure the gun industry is being pushed forward.
Yeah. There's a lot of other stuff on the market. There wasn't really anything for actually going beltless at the
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
Um, there's a bunch of things that replicate belts where you don't have to use them with like belt loops. But that didn't really solve my specific problem.
Right.
So that's how I came to this solution.
Sorry, I had a question pop up here, and I think it's for you. What are some of the challenges you've met and solved, and what are some of the challenges that you're facing now? I guess if it's not for you, I'm going to ask you in creating this, and this is the last question before we pick a winner. Um, Creating this, did you run into any challenges outside of, well, let's find a new material that can't it can't be leather?
Yeah, early on, it was the big thing was that I wanted it to be made in the States.
Hmm.
So I was having a really hard time finding suppliers for the I think it's called double layered nylon is
Hmm.
the other, like it was going to be like the next best thing, but I couldn't find any reliable suppliers for it in the States. And I didn't want to make it out of something that I had to like import from another country.
Yeah,
Uh, so that was probably the thing that took me the longest because I was researching all these different materials and I didn't want something that was too stiff. And I didn't want something that was too soft where it would just be floppy all the time. Uh,
definitely.
and
And that
we
that
came to
is the
this material
question,
and
right? Because this is
I
not
worked.
floppy at all. It's pretty rigid, but it's not so
Yeah.
stiff that it's painful. And it does a good job of keeping the ulti clips off of you because they're metal clips, and that could be kind of frustrating if it rubs your skin.
Yeah. And I actually, um, I have, I don't know if I should say it, but I'll say it anyways.
Oh,
So one of the other things that had come up was people were mentioning that the clips were rubbing them. And like I was racking my brain to understand how the clips were like rubbing them and poking them. And uh, and it's not everybody. It's some people. It's normally the people that use it the hardest and the longest
hmm.
that have had this issue. Um, and so I decided I was like, I'm just gonna go like because I couldn't replicate it for myself because it didn't bother me. It didn't hurt me. So I was like, I'm just gonna go commando and see if I can just get those hot spots.
I respect
Like if
I
I can
respect
feel,
the
that'll
R
be
and
the
D.
worst it feels.
I respect the R&D.
So I figured out that it was actually backwards. They're complaining that the clips were bothering, but it's actually the underside that was like bothering them.
Huh.
So I have a new product that's not going to be available for probably another month. Um, I got one right here.
Yeah,
I
let me
wasn't
get
going to
this for
make
you.
any announcements, but since the question was asked, so I have these pads that are getting made. That's gone with Velcro. and you can kind of position it however you want onto the back so that whatever shape you're built in, you can get rid of whatever hot spots you might be having. And it makes it so comfortable that, to be totally honest, I go commando all the time with it, just like that.
Hey, you know what?
That might be TMI.
Listen, he trusts that product that much. That's faith. So, Costa Conversations exclusive announcement. New products coming soon for the Leasure Carry. Something to kind of spice things up a little bit, help you to go commando a little bit more comfortably. My mom's watching this, so come on, bro. And all right, dude. So let's go ahead and get this giveaway going. Let me spin the wheel and let's see who wins. And Manny. Looks like we got Manny. He won this this Leasure Carry. Congratulations, Manny. I'm gonna send you an email when this is done. And let's see if we can't play your submission.
Hey, bud. I haven't really gotten to listen to a lot of the podcast that you have. Hey, bud. I haven't really gotten to listen to a lot of the podcast that you have there. The ones I have listened to are awesome. I'm halfway through with the latest one, 99, with the girl in the wheelchair. I think that's real cool. I have a friend who has Ehlers-Danlos, and he wants to finish a build for himself, but unfortunately, he needs something that is like kind of zero recoil, because he does have pain when he shoots. But anyways, it's real cool that you touch on all these subjects and all these different people.
All right. Thank you, Manny, for your submission. Thank you for sharing what you think about the show. And I'm glad that these guests that we have on, such as Michaela Elizabeth, the young lady from the previous episode, episode 99, who is wheelchair bound, but is out here competing at SIG and doing all sorts of cool stuff. Go ahead and give her a follow. Check out that episode. And Manny, you're going to get one of these in the mail. I'm going to send you an email or send you a DM because I think we were DMing the other day. And congratulations, dude. All right. Ron, thanks for coming on. I got to kick you off now, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Being here, man. All right, guys. Y'all go ahead and give Leasure Carry a follow on Instagram. Make sure you're sending them ideas or whatever if you guys have anything that you guys need done with the Leasure Carry. And I'm sure he'll R&D it. Maybe he'll even go commando for you. So thanks, man. Peace, brother.
See you.
Dude, stop laughing. Dude, that was awesome. I can appreciate a man who is maybe a little bit too transparent.
Nice.
No, that was awesome. So here we go. I just got a DM. I had a question come up from gun websites. Have you done work with gun websites before?
Yeah, every now and again, like every Saturday, we do a show together called a Q&A, gun Q&A, with gun websites.
You said every now and again? Yeah, every Saturday we do a show. Are you kidding me?
Almost every Saturday we do a show together. Yes, we do a podcast together. Sometimes it's between 1 and 3 hours long.
I can't stand you. Listen, I don't know if I've ever had a conversation with you that was under an hour.
You asked me the last time, do you work, bro? Because every time I call you, you answer the phone. You called me at work. It was hilarious. I just got back in the office when the phone rang and I saw it was you and I picked up.
Well, I mean, I appreciate it. But that funny thing about me is this podcasting thing, this is what I do like in real life. Like I'm going to call you. We're going to chop it up for like 30 minutes, an hour, at least, maybe 2 hours if we're feeling froggy. And that's just kind of the vibe. So